What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Some quick updates before we get into it. First, the fourth annual New England Am is coming up, and you're invited. We're going to do our ladies' jam, 14 and under for the Groms, 15 and over for the Killers, and then we do our skate shop invite, which is about 20 skate shops coming together, bringing 3 riders each, and they jam format, battle it out until we have top shop. That's coming up November 4th and 5th at the Edge Indoor Skate Park in Taunton, Mass. Our judges are going to be Brandon Westgate, Donnie Barley. I believe Nick Dompierre will be in the building. Should be pretty fucking heavy. I'm really stoked. And here's some of the shops, my messy handwriting. But the shops that are going to be coming. So there's a lot of epic ones. Yeah, super hyped for that. It's going to be fun. We got a bunch of stuff coming in right now. A lot of products for giveaways. A lot of cool sponsors. ProTech, Thunder. I could go through the list. Let me pull it up real quick so you guys can see. This weekend's busy. I gotta go. Today I gotta run to Rad Skate Park because my homies from New England Female Skaters, they're throwing like a Halloween jam, and I told them I'd kick in some All I Need in World product. So I'm gonna drive there. It's about 40 minutes to an hour away. Drop off some boards, say what up, watch them skate for a little bit. They asked me to judge, but I don't have enough time because I gotta get back. I gotta leave there and boot back to the Edge skate park to meet up, and we're throwing a best trick contest. We're calling it the Dooley Throwdown. Jake's from Taunton, so it's like he's originally from this area. So we're like, he just moved back from Cali, and I was like, let's do an event. Let's do an All I Need and Jake Dooley event, and he was down. So that's tonight, which is Saturday. I don't know when I'm gonna put this up. I'll try to put it up today. Saturday, October 21st. Let me see. I'll pull up the flyer though, so we can see the most current sponsors for the New England Am. Gotta get on my phone. There we go. All right, so we got All I Need, Thunder Trucks, OJ Wheels, World Industries, ProTech, Narragansett Beer sponsoring our after party, which will be Saturday night. I believe 10 p.m. at No Problemo in New Bedford, Mass. It's a taqueria. We'll have live music. Gansett, cheap Gansett for you guys to get. A good deal on the Narragansett beer, so should be sick. NEFS, New England Female Skaters, is a sponsor of the New England Am. Anchor Hardware, Stray Footwear, Gorilla Grip Tape, Oyster Brand, shout out. Dekind, sending backpacks. I'm hyped to see those any day now. Able Skate Co. supports the New England Am. High Water Skateboards, Somnambulous, Skate Sheet, House of Marley. House of Marley sending some sick ass speakers, and Tough Sheet Grip Tape. And yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm just looking at the schedule. If you want to know anything about the contest, you could just go on Instagram and type in at New England Am, and that's where we post all the information as well. You can follow along for all the updates. So yeah, New England Am's coming up. Tonight's the Jake Dooley All I Need Best Trick, which we're gonna do best trick on multiple things. Give out a lot of stuff. Make a sick edit. That's the real idea, is get everyone together and just film a sick event and, you know, see some epic skateboarding go down. And it's kind of like a warm-up for the New England Am, so everyone can come together on a smaller scale and just get the nerves out, and then when the New England Am comes, they'll be chilling and ready to battle it out. It's a 2-day event, man. It's November 4th and 5th, and it's awesome. It's like, I don't even really consider it a skate contest. It's more like just a bunch of people, community, skate shops, and people coming together, having a good time, and just raising the level and trying to see how gnarly people could get and how consistent. It's so fun, man. It's like a lot of energy and cheering, you know. We have to pick winners and stuff at the end, but really the whole thing is just fun. And, so I'm excited for that. Also, some updates to the All I Need site. We just got our new All I Need hometown hoodie. I'm loving it. I'm finally got to wear it. I had to take some photos with it, get it on the store. This thing is awesome, super comfy, good quality. And yeah, it's on our online store. And once again, thank you guys to those that cop from All I Need. It helps directly keep the show going. The show is listener funded, so it helps us be able to talk about whatever, whenever. And I love that. And I love that we don't have to worry about what we talk about. It's just nice. Some people do, you know, which would be shitty. But yeah, so best way to support the show. If you don't have any money, don't bother. You know what I mean? I don't want you to go in a stretch, but if the show brings you any value at all and you really enjoy it and you want to help keep this thing moving forward, you can head to allineedskate.com, cop a hometown hoodie or one of our decks, try it out, and if you do, since you'll be a sponsor of the show, I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. Which reminds me, don't go anywhere. Hold on. Let's see. Quick shout outs, real quick. I'll do a couple real quick. Luke Salazar, he is the man, dude. Thank you, Colorado. Thanks for supporting All I Need. We'll be shipping your core fleece shorts soon and your long sleeve hoodies as well. Shout out to Eastern Skate Supply for carrying All I Need skateboards and getting our boards out to all the skate shops. It means a lot. Thank you for the support. And I wanted to shout out, this is an obscure one. Route 44 Hyundai and Route 44 Toyota. They're actually going to sponsor our best trick. They said they'd kick in some money for that. So it'd be cool to give out some money during the best trick on the New England Am. So shout out to those guys. That's my friend's dad. He owns that dealership and he wanted to support the event, which meant a lot to me. So yeah, once again, thank you guys. Today's guest is my good buddy Ben Ross, who is also a sponsor of the New England Am with Skate Sheet. If I have his mag right here. And Ben just drove down, kicked it with me, and we chopped it up. Had a great conversation about skateboarding and life, man. Enjoy. Thrive. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I gotta get on it.
I just love the skating and the scene.
Rain, go away. All I need is a skateboard today.
This is the Shetler Show featuring professional skateboarder, podcaster, and All I Need Skate founder, Anthony Shetler.
So it was hot. Everyone was doing it.
Yeah, they're looking for their dad's fucking metal skateboards in the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on this thing.
Each episode brings you amazing discussions with interesting people from all walks of life.
Kind of when skateboarding clicked for me, and you learn some tricks or whatever, and you get that appreciation from your peers, the other skaters are like, holy shit, like, yeah, dude, that's rad.
Admiration.
Yeah, the admiration or the affirmation.
Real, recognized real.
If I didn't experience those crazy moments in my life, then these great moments would never be as great as they have been.
Honestly, like for me, I just loved it. Like I saw those dudes, I saw those videos, and I was like, holy fuck, this is sick.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do.
All right, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How long was your commute today?
It's about 2 hours.
Nice. Where are you at?
Up in Peterborough, New Hampshire.
Nice. How's New Hampshire?
It's good. It's been cold the last couple days. So.
Yeah? What are we talking?
Got down in the 30s the last couple nights. We had frost, so.
Yeah, that's cold.
Yep, it's getting there.
I started skating in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah?
Is that where you started?
Yeah. I started in New York and then moved to New Hampshire like the year after.
Nice.
So for the most part up here.
How old are you?
I started when I was 9.
Nice. That's early.
Yep.
And you're 27, you said?
Yep.
Nice. Damn, you've been at it.
A little while.
What was your first introduction to skating?
It was kind of funny, like, my brother is 11 years older than I am.
Nice.
And he used to, like, rollerblade and ride bikes and stuff. So I
Give
always
him shit?
saw him doing that. Yes, I did later.
For the rollerblading.
Yeah.
Because, like, biking I'm okay with, but I'm okay with rollerblading too, but I feel like as a skateboarder, you always have to give him shit.
Oh, yeah. But I used to always see him doing that stuff when I was little, and, like, we'd run around and jump off things and build sketchy little bike jumps and all that, so. We were always doing that, and then the year that I started was 1999, and I was, like, watching cartoons one morning and saw an ad for the X Games.
Nice.
And saw, like, people skating vert. I was
Wow.
like, that's rad. So I sat there the rest of the day and watched all of it.
Sick.
And then went to the store and bought a skateboard, like, the next day.
Who are the characters skating vert at this time? Or who are some people you look up to or got you sparked?
Well, I mean, that was my first real exposure to it, and that was 99 X Games, like when the 900 and all that
Oh,
stuff.
it was then?
That was that year.
All right, yeah. See, I didn't know.
And that was like, I was sitting there like as this little kid knowing nothing, watching that, like, this is rad. And they're playing, like, now I look back and, like, in the background of them skating, they're playing, like, the Adolescents and stuff. And, like, that's part of the music that's always stuck with me, too, in skating.
Yeah.
Um,
Tony Hawk had a moment right there, huh?
yeah.
That was like the defining moment. He kind of like did the trick that had never been done, and it was
Right.
on the platform that was so massive.
Yeah, and I remember, like, seeing him and, like, Bob Burnquist and all the people now that are just, like, you know,
It's,
big name legend
yeah, skate gods.
thing, right?
Bob Burnquist has been fucking. He transcends everything because he even used to skate street like super well. Remember he
Right.
skated for Antihero?
Yeah,
I think he still has the tramp stamp. No.
I think so. Yeah.
Sick.
So awesome.
So that got you sparked though?
Yeah, that was like my initial, like, that's so rad, I want to do that. And then, like, took a bunch of rotten wood from my grandpa's house and, like, built a little kicker in the driveway and
Nice.
learned slappies. And
Not quite a vert ramp.
no.
That's
Just
it.
whatever I could get my hands on. Our driveway was, like, full of pieces of metal and plywood. And
It's strange. I don't think I've ever talked to someone who got hyped on skating because of vert.
yeah. that was, like, my initial thing. And, like, I saw the street stuff, too. I was like, that's rad. But for some reason, it was just, like, dudes going that fast and that high. It was, like, just something I'd never seen.
Yeah.
It was just so out of everything that I knew that I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah. So how do you go from watching that, getting hyped? Do you remember your first board?
Yeah, it was a Walmart special. It had, like,
Nice.
sharks on it.
Classic.
I still have it too. It's still at my mom's house, like all razor tailed and chipped in and
Sick.
beat up. But
I wish I saved my first one. SMA, Santa Monica Airlines. I don't know. That thing's long gone by now, but it's sick to have your first one.
yeah,
And is it clearly you could just put your foot through it, right now?
yeah,
Shitty.
it's so beat. The tail's like this long and all chipped out. And, like, I used to just skateboards until there was, like, no nose and tail left.
Yeah.
Skate it till the tail was too short and then turn it around because I couldn't buy another one yet.
Yeah, make it last.
Yeah.
Were your parents stoked on the idea of skateboarding?
They were okay with it. I mean, they didn't really know anything about it. But both my parents growing up had done sports kind of stuff.
Well, like what? What did they
My
do?
mom used to be like a roller skater, like a figure skater,
What?
roller skating.
Four wheels on each?
Yeah.
Like quad,
Yeah,
not rollerblade.
right,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
roller skating, figure skating.
And she was good?
Yeah, like she used to travel and do competitions and stuff with that when she was young. And my dad used to be like professional water skier.
What?
Yeah.
Sick.
So they were like, okay, cool, like you're into this, go for it.
Yeah.
And they always backed it, which was really rad.
It was like water skiing, huh?
Yeah, like slalom, like the one ski.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Getting towed, though?
Yeah.
By a boat and everything? Wow. Did you ever try it?
I've tried it a couple times. It's hard.
Yeah. Not for you?
It's fun. I like messing around with it here and there, but
Not a career path?
no, not that one.
What about roller skating?
Roller skating's rad. I'm down for
Yeah.
roller skates.
Way cooler than rollerblading.
Right.
In my
You gotta
opinion.
spread the wheels out.
Although nowadays rollerblading's kind of cooler to me because the scooter epidemic, you know.
Yeah, there's
Rollerblading's starting to look
like
more
another notch came into the ladder there.
yeah, exactly.
You're like, well, at least you're doing that.
Yeah, it's just like so far. It's like they're almost rebels now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, you see a rollerblader once in a while, and you're like, whoa, you're just really hanging
That's
on to that.
happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't let that one go. I have a theory about that though. I think it's just that they didn't own their industry. Like I feel like rollerblades were made. I could be wrong. I'm talking shit completely, but I feel like they're just made by some dude who wanted to make a profit. You know, it's like
Right.
started out as a mainstream mall brand type thing, and then kids
Totally.
took it and adopted it. But like, it's probably so hard to manufacture like rollerblades, I guess.
Right.
Or same as the
It's such an
scooter.
odd thing. to
Yeah.
make.
And scooters too. It's like you gotta know how to meld metal together, and like I feel like they're gonna have a tough time like owning their industry as well.
Right.
And if you don't own your industry, or at least have a part in it, then eventually it's just like about points numbers, and then someone just, if you're not making the numbers, they're like, we don't need to market this
Right.
shit, you know, like strange times, my friend. So got the board.
Yep.
You're in New Hampshire still. Parents are cool with it. Or are you in New York?
We were in New York, and then like that same year we moved to New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
So we were there for a little bit.
Nice. And your
And,
parents were cool with it?
Yeah, they were fine with it. I mean, I was out in the driveway every day,
Nice.
pushing around. We had like a little short curb in the driveway,
Nice.
like doing little ride-on slappy grinds and stuff.
That sounds like heaven when you were a little kid.
It was great.
Yeah. So how'd you progress from there? Did you get on a vert ramp eventually?
It took a long time
Yeah.
before I got there. We moved to New Hampshire, lived in Peterborough, didn't have a paved driveway, so I was like our square in the garage,
Yeah.
and then they kind of let me take over the basement, which was great.
Nice.
So we got like a little flat bar, and my buddies and I built a kicker and a little quarter pipe and stuff in the basement.
Sick.
So you had to like duck and not hit your head on the ceiling.
We had a similar setup. My buddy Dale, his parents let us, or his mom let us do the same thing, but we fucked her dryer, washed her dryer, for real.
Yeah.
Boards just shooting out, and like she'd come down, yeah, new dent in it, and she was so mad. It didn't last that long.
Oh, that's funny. We had like the sketchiest sort of mini ramp of things that we had built.
Yeah.
So there was like a 2-foot high quarter, like 8 feet wide, that my brother and I built. That one was like decent transition, had coping.
You know what you're doing?
Kind of. More my brother knew what he was doing and helped me with it. And then we had like one that just went up the wall. It's like 4 feet tall, but went up the basement wall, so like super tight. And then next to it, there was like a 3 foot tall, really mellow one that somebody had built and their parents were going to throw out, so we took it.
Sweet.
So it was like all these different pieces just facing each other.
Just make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you have metal coping or PVC?
I had metal on the one only thing that we had with coping.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times you don't even get coping.
Right.
We built one out in his woods afterwards, and it was just straight. It was sick, but the thing is, like, in the East Coast outside, the weather fucks it up. But so after a while, the plies were coming up, shit was warped, and we didn't do a good job. But the PVC coping, it would just like shatter eventually and turn into us like fighting each other with it.
Right. It'd break out and chase each other around with pieces of it.
Yeah. But that thing, you get like your use out of it, and then it's just like party to bring it down and destroy it.
Right.
You know? Okay, so to vert skating, because you're at your house, and then you must have found a skate park.
Yeah, in Peterborough, there's a little skate park. It had one quarter pipe,
Nice.
which I was like the only kid in town that skated the 4 foot quarter pipe that was there. And that was all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'd go like ride over everything else to try and learn tricks on the quarter pipe and just beat the crap out of myself every day trying to like learn how to do airs and stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun. Like everybody's skating flat ground in like the pyramid, and I'm just like trying to go fast at the one curved ramp that's there and figure it out.
Are you padded up?
I had a helmet on for sure,
Good move.
but
That was a good move when you're young. Right?
yeah, I was like 10, trying to figure out what I'm doing, and just beating myself up.
Yeah. That's sick. And it's so it's only 4 foot though.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was like terrifying. It was like as tall as me.
Yeah. It's the basics. You can learn everything on that, but it's new to you, so it's
Right.
scary as shit. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of that, and then just messing around, pushing around town. There's like not really skate spots in our town.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much just like popping up and down curbs and you know,
Same.
actually like skating place to place
Yeah.
and just cruising around and
Which is kind of a forgotten art.
right.
Yeah. Unless you live like in a city and you commute around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
We did that in New Hampshire too. I lived in Raymond, New Hampshire.
Yep.
So that's where I got my first board actually.
Oh,
I lived
nice.
in a trailer park there. I want to say it was Garden Homes North, but I might be wrong. It's been so long. But we would just push for miles
Yeah.
to go skate a fucking curb.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Like, I think back now, I'm like,
So like, what were we doing?
Yeah. Like, it's a curb. Like,
Yeah.
I could have figured something else out, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do, you know?
Yeah, that's totally what it was. And it was like you had to find the curb because all the curbs are chunky and like made of granite.
Yeah.
There's like, there's one that we can grind. Like we got to go all the way there.
Did you find a crew of people to shred with?
Yeah, I had a handful of buddies around there that all skated. And it was basically like we'd go to each other's houses and like skate in each other's basements or push around town.
Nice. That helps keep the fire stoked.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially out in New Hampshire. Like,
Right.
when I was there was nobody skating in New Hampshire. Like, at least in our town, there was
Right.
like me, Dale, maybe Chris Tremblay, and nobody. But then after like a few years, we got like all our buddies to skate, whether they
Right.
wanted to or not. But like we just turned them on to it. Like, come on, we're going to the skate park.
Yep.
And then eventually, you know, we had the spark, and then it started taking off and more people eventually.
Yeah, that was the same thing there. We had like a handful of people there, and then we'd start like getting our parents to take us to Nashua Park or like just other places around to get to go skate something different. Then you end up meeting the crew from there and like get to know each other.
Yeah.
And it just grows into what it is now.
That's the raddest part about skating is just you can travel to a park and you show up and you feel like you know people because you know they like skating like you.
Right, you have like that automatic connection.
Yeah.
Just from the start.
I always hear people talk about that like that's a dying thing. Like back in the day, skaters used to be friends instantly. You know? I don't know.
Yeah,
I agree, but
I mean, I still see it happen for sure. Yeah. I still go places I've never been and end up like leaving knowing like 10 or 12 kids that I never have met before, just from hanging out there for a couple hours with them.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Because I hear the opposite of sometimes, and I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. And it's weird nowadays, too, because it's so segmented.
Right.
Like, back in the day, it was like, maybe there was more styles, but nowadays it just seems like the gatekeepers are gone, and there's so many different genres of skateboarding.
Right.
Now, and you can kind of find your niche, and you could stay in your little bubble if you want, you know what I mean? But it's kind of cool. I like the fact that it's so different now, because when I was coming up, you're a little bit younger, but you remember, there was like a phase where like one company would just like have that video, and then it would just wave through the industry, and that'd be the standard. Like,
right, that was the thing.
Yeah, like
a year or two.
Yeah, like exactly, maybe even longer. Like there's some examples like Jamie Thomas with what he did. His filming alone made everyone want to skate handrails, you know?
Right.
But with the whole technology thing and democratizing it, now everyone can like kind of film their version of it and put it out.
Right, you get all these like really obscure things that somebody finds. It's like, this is rad, and then it blows up and turns into a bigger thing.
Yeah, and then the one thing I don't like about today is when the skating becomes a meme.
Yeah.
Where it's like you see just all the no comply variations again and again and again, and then you see people dressing like a certain way that matches a certain style, and it becomes like almost cookie cutter.
Right, like trying to fit a niche instead of just find what it is that you do.
Yeah, and people have been doing that forever, I suppose.
It's always been a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you just see it more now because everybody's got a camera. Everybody can throw it up in front of everybody.
Yeah, and it goes viral. So you're like scrolling through and you're like, fucking 20 people doing the same shit. It's like, dude, it's so cool, but now it's just like a trend, you know?
Right.
So it's like,
it's weird.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's at a weird spot for sure.
I think it's just because, like, for me, skating started as like an individual thing and doing your own thing, you know? But now as it's like infecting the culture in a good way, it seems like there's just more people involved and people are just going to certain bubbles they like.
Right.
You know? Just
that's one thing, like, coming up, people would be like, well, what do you skate? I'm like, I don't know, I ride my skateboard.
Yeah.
I skate whatever's in front of me, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'll skate a curb, I'll skate a big ramp, I'll skate a pool, I'll try and jump down something, like, I'll do whatever. Like, I don't know, I ride a skateboard.
All terrain.
Yeah.
I try to be that way. No, it doesn't always happen. Like, I tend to like favorite things I like.
Right. No, same here. But that was always like an odd question to me. People were like, well, do you skate this or do you skate this? Like, no, I ride my skateboard around. Like,
I skate.
Wherever it is that I happen to be, I'll find something.
Yeah. What was the first official vert ramp that you got to skate?
I think, like, when there was a place down in Rhode Island that, like, Kevin Robinson, these couple of the BMX dudes owned, that had, like, a really big mini ramp that, like, almost went to vert.
Nice.
I went down there one time and skated that. And
was it an indoor park?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
I feel like, I'm not going to remember it, but I do remember Kevin Robinson having a park.
Yeah, and it was, like, big jump boxes and, like, really bike style park. Like, I skated that, and then it probably wasn't really until, like, when Rye Airfield opened, and they had that ramp there.
Theirs is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
It's not the same one?
No, it's the one that they used to have. It was, like, 12 feet tall, like, 9-foot transitions, so, like, old school vert ramp with, like, more vert and, like, tighter trannies.
So terrifying.
Yeah, it was so scary, and I used to, like, just pump around and get halfway up and be scared, and it took me, like, months and months and months to drop in.
Yeah.
Like going up to the coping, standing there. You're like, I can't do it. And
It's all or nothing at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, it's the biggest nightmare ever to drop in on a vert right now.
Yeah, it was probably like a solid 3 months of just like going to the coping and like being terrified and wanting to do it, but I just couldn't get myself to do it for so long.
Yeah, because it's like a free fall almost.
Yeah, like you go and you're like, it's all or nothing. You're going and you're going really fast.
Yeah. I got to that point. I got to the point where I could drop in and I could like kind of scrape the coping. I think I might have did a rock to fakie.
Yeah.
Which is scary, but I think that just seemed like I could pull it off. But never was I able to like fully do like a stand-up 50-50.
Yeah.
Too scary. I never
It's
put
super
pads
intimidating.
on. I never put pads on either. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
Never learned to knee slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, going like that high and that fast, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Or else it really hurts to run.
Yeah, which is like nowadays you see dudes on concrete parks
crazy
with nothing on, and
Yeah.
I'm like, how? And they're gonna be hurting in 5 years,
Right. Like you're doing 12-foot airs
Yeah,
on like a 12-foot wall with no pads, no nothing.
yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
So Rye though, is this where you started taking off with the vert stuff?
Yeah, I was like the little kid that used to skate with all the older guys.
No, how old were you when you got into Rye?
Like 12, 13 probably.
Wow.
And because I was like the only little kid that would hang out on the vert ramp, it was like Mike Talone and Crazy Horse. And
Legends.
all those guys
Yeah.
were like making the trip to come skate that ramp every week.
Yeah.
And they had a solid crew of like, 15, 20 people that would come from like Rhode Island and Maine and everywhere and like converge on there every week.
Sick.
So it was basically like sitting on the deck watching those guys and trying to do little airs and having me be 12 and I'd be like, don't fucking early grab anymore. You stand up and do it. And like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm 12.
Like I can't even get to the top. Like it doesn't matter.
They were right.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
So that was like my push was watching those guys and just like seeing them do crazy things that I never thought I'd be anywhere close to. Just doing like huge airs and Crazy Horse doing freaking nollie heel flips and stuff.
Yeah, Crazy Horse was crazy good.
Yeah.
At the island, I would watch him skate, and he looks like a madman. His eyes and just like his look. He looks like someone that should be in that movie Tombstone.
Right.
Wide Earth. He
Yeah.
does. I'm always like, I've never seen him as a little kid, and I'm like, that guy should be in a movie. Like, he just looks kind of psychotic.
Right.
Oh, he's got like the piercing eyes. But he's so good at verts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Way ahead of everyone at that time, I felt,
Yeah.
from watching. Do you remember the guys, there were two brothers? There were two black brothers, I believe.
Oh
And
yeah.
they were really good, and I think they almost did the 900 before Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
The island. I was there one time, and dude was trying it and putting it down, but just couldn't ride away. But
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
yeah, it was intense.
That's crazy.
Seeing it in person, I was like, how the fuck is
Like,
this?
what's going on?
I couldn't even early grab on a ramp. I couldn't
Right.
even do that, so I was like, this is insane. I didn't even know it was a 900 until everyone started saying it. I was just like, he's spinning a lot.
Right.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
So that probably pushed you a little bit. That was a little kid.
For
like,
sure.
Let you know what's possible.
Yeah.
Especially on a vert ramp.
Yeah, like watching that being, a third of the height of the ramp,
Yeah.
being like, oh my god, how are you doing that? I don't get it. But I want to.
Yeah.
So I did that and like tried to skate pools and stuff here and there when I could. Like this dude, Tony Sellers, he does tattoos in Portsmouth now. I haven't seen him in years, but he used to show up places and like skate pools barefoot.
Gnarly.
Like first dude I ever saw do that.
Fucked.
And he'd just roll up and like roll and grind in the deep end of pools and stuff. And I'm like, whoa.
Just because they can.
Like you can do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Like just watching crazy things like that.
Whenever I see that, I've seen that a few times, I'm always like, why?
Right?
Why? But I guess if you can, you would. It's so gnarly.
Right.
Find it out.
That's like so much of skateboarding. It's
Yeah.
like, well, why are you doing that? I don't know, because you can and it's a challenge. Right?
Exactly, yeah. That's something I love about skating. It
Yeah.
doesn't always make sense.
Right. There's sometimes where even like you're in the middle of trying something and you look at it and you're like, what am I doing?
For sure. That's rad. So fucking skating vert, all that stuff, did you ever want to pursue like sponsorship and that avenue?
Yeah, that was definitely like something along the way that I was like, I really like doing this. Like, how do I get to do this more?
Yeah.
Like, make this a thing. So I, like, filmed some stuff with friends and this and that, and, like, put together a little edit, which is funny. I actually found a copy of it the other day. Yeah, when I was, like, 14, I made a little edit and, like, gave it to some shops and stuff, but it was 2004. So I was, like, trying to skate transition in 2004. Everybody was like, you need to flip your board, and you need to jump down some things. I was like, I don't want to, though. That hurts. Like,
Yeah, they were all wrong. They were all wrong, right?
Right?
That happened to me, too, is, like, they try to, because of what we were talking about earlier, because the industry trends catch on, and fads,
Yeah.
the companies and everything, they start to tell you, like, this is what you need to do to get sponsored. Turns out, no. Maybe at that time, but if you just wait a little bit,
Right.
you'll have your own platforms where you can promote whatever you want. And turns out people just like skateboarding, not just one certain type of
Right.
skateboard.
Not like what's marketable that month.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to do with the industry side of things, with people with dollars and industry being bought
For
up
sure.
in the magazines, and that was like the gatekeepers, you know, like the
Right.
magazines and videos. If you didn't get in those, no one who knew who the fuck you were. Pre-social media, pre all the bullshit.
Right. Now there's like that loophole around it where everybody can be like, this is rad, and all of a sudden, like,
you could find
everybody has to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like all these companies bought up all that magazines and videos, and then if you do want to get sponsored, you got to fit into their mold.
Right.
Which is it was right for the moment, but wrong in the long term. You know.
Right. And that was one of those things. That was never like my reason for doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, this would be helpful, but if it doesn't, that's whatever. I'm going to keep skateboarding anyway.
I like the way you said it. You said, I just want to find a way to keep it going because you want to do it as much as you can.
Right.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, and that was like the only reason for it. Like, I want to keep doing this. How do I keep doing this? And being like a kid just coming into it, it's like, well, that looks like that's how you do that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people, like, it's hard to get advice and a lot of bad advice out there on how to keep it in your life and get sponsored. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times people should just sit down and be like, yeah, you might want to get sponsored, but maybe just like hold off, take your time, develop, and like, you know, but instead they're like, dress up like this and do that.
Right.
You mislead a whole bunch of kids, you know.
Yeah.
So did you sent out that tape to a shop?
Yeah, I like gave it to some shops and sent it to a couple places, and like never really heard anything back other than like, oh, you got to like learn flip tricks and skate the street. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do this because like this is what I want to do. I don't know.
Yeah. Which I admire.
Yeah, because like I said, that was never my reason for doing it. It's like I like doing this. If I'm gonna do it anyway, if somebody happens to pay attention, cool.
Yeah.
If not, I'm still gonna do it. Like I'm gonna skate the park by myself. Like I'm gonna skate it when there's a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
Like
it's funny. There's like a fine line with intentions. You know, like. Because I noticed that, like, a lot of people say they love skating, they want skating, and then you really find out when they get what they want.
Right.
A lot of times they want something other than the actual skating. They want, like, a little notoriety, a little fame, which is normal, you know, with anything, you know. But I was the same way as you. I was like, I just want money so I can buy more skateboard stuff, so I can have hours of skating. Like, I'm worried about shoes, decks, like, gas money, like, stuff to just do more in skating and just keep it going. Like, that's the main... But some people, you know, they say one thing, but they get what they want, and then they usually fade away into obscurity, and you're like, oh, that dude used to skate. He was pretty good, too.
Right.
And you're like, oh, but he wasn't really a lifer, you know? Like.
Yeah, he was there for a minute, and then...
Was it hard being, like, 9 years old and getting into it at a time when, like, the whole world is, like, Tony Hawk, and you could be something, I imagine.
It was kind of weird, for sure, because it's like, all of a sudden everybody was like, oh, skateboarding, like that's a thing, you know? So
that was the pinnacle. That's when everybody and their mom and uncle were like, knew about
like in
skating.
the newspaper.
Yeah,
and like,
you can be
all over the place.
Like Tony Hawk.
Really?
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the media. It was just hype, for sure.
For sure.
So did that never made you like think of like, you were just more focused on skating, not like, oh, I want to be like Tony and sponsors and all that?
Yeah, it was more just I saw it and I thought it was rad and wanted to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then just kept doing it and finding pieces of it that I liked. And it was cool because even with that, like we were saying, you know, like, oh, you don't fit with what the thing is. Now, there would be people along the way that would be like, just keep doing that.
Nice.
Um,
Solid people then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I used to skate with Charlie Wilkins a
Legend.
bunch when he lived up here.
Nice.
Like, every summer I'd skate with him, and he would be like, you should learn this, or like, you should try this. And he's like super all-terrain. Like, I watched him skate the vert ramp and then go like skate handrails.
Yeah, he can.
What
do
are
it
you
all.
doing?
Yeah,
Like,
he's one of those dudes. There's a few pros like that can do it all, and he was one of them.
Yeah. So he was somebody that was just like, oh, you do this, like, go faster, like, try this transfer, like, try this gap, try this thing.
So,
And he would push me to try other stuff. And same thing, every once in a while I'd get to skate with like guys who skated vert or skated pools, and they were like, dude, it doesn't matter, just keep skating however you want to.
yeah.
And like, just keep doing it for that. And if somebody notices, cool, and if not, then whatever. Like, you had fun.
Yeah, and that seems so simple, but to like a little kid, especially coming up when Tony Hawk just landed a 900, like there's a lot of people that are in it for other reasons than just that.
For sure.
It's rad that you had some guidance and good voices to help you out.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's crucial. I try to talk to the kids as much as I can. I get a lot on Instagram and Facebook, like advice, like asking me, so I can only do so much, but I try to like type it out and really explain it and take my time with my words to be like, yeah, it's a long-term game. Like, if you love skating, you gotta like build up your skate community, and you gotta like be part of it and help skate. You gotta give to skateboarding
Right.
first. You know, like skating doesn't go on if you don't. Someone's gotta have the spark. You know, like
Right.
you gotta have the spark, and then you gotta keep that thing growing and keep it burning and share that with other people. And then maybe if you're lucky, there'll be a big skate community, and then people will be thankful you turned them on to skating, and maybe you helped build the park, or maybe you helped get the park, or maybe you started a small brand, or maybe you had the right footage and people were inspired and you were able, like, it could happen, you know, but that should be an afterthought for sure.
Right. Like, I see it now after skating for so many years. There's kids that, like, I showed how to drop in at the park or whatever, that are just ripping now.
Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
Like, that's crazy. Like, you're doing stuff that I don't really want to do. Like, that's terrifying. But I remember when you were, like, you know, pushing Mongo around the outside of the park and, like, scared to go down the bank ramp.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody starts there. Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember me doing that. But it's just crazy to, like, watch kids that you're like, this is how you drop in, this is how you do an ollie. And now they're doing, like, hard flips down stair sets and skating crazy huge parks.
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. It's good. It's good that, do you ever do that? Do you ever do skateboard lessons, or just when you're out skating?
I mean, when I'm out and around, I help kids out if they ever ask anything. And I used to, like, I worked at Rye after I was there a bunch of years. I ran the summer camps there for a couple
Was
summers.
it the Charlie Wilkins summer camp, right?
Yeah, like, I used to work a couple weeks in the summer out there at that. And then when Nels, the guy that ran that,
I remember Nels.
Yeah, when he went to be a teacher.
Nice. I didn't know
When
that.
he left that, Bo called me and was like, you've been here every summer since we started doing this. Do you want to come run this for a couple years?
Sick.
So I got to do that, which was really cool. To be, like, really hands-on and watch kids just take off.
Yeah.
I mean, like, some of the Boston kids now and, like, the Seacoast kids, like Will Mazzari, I remember him when he was 8 and, like, already beating me at skate.
Yeah. Will's amazing.
Yeah. He was, like, so little and could only flip his board off of launch ramps because he couldn't pop high enough because he was too little. Like, he could only 3-flip off things.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
My homie Dev's like that. He's so little, he hasn't hit that growth spurt. So
Yeah.
Same thing, they gotta kind of get that little cheat in there.
Yeah.
Extra space to let it flip.
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing, like, him and, like, John McFarland and
Nice.
all those kids when they were little, and then just watching them take off and be ripping now.
Yeah, it's important. It's kind of going back to what we were talking about. It's important that the other dudes that are shredding kind of school the dudes to the game, you know? Like,
Right.
because everyone has potential, and if they stay with it and they really love it, they're going to get really good, you know? But some people can get really good anyways, whether they love it or not. It's just natural for them.
Right, it's
Some
just like a
people are
determination thing.
Yeah, and but a lot of times it's always the mindset of someone that you're like, because I know a couple kids that are exceptionally good, but they're so selfish in their approach,
Yeah.
and they don't even care about the skate community, and you're like, but they're fucking amazing, and
Right.
you're like, people are like adoring them, but they don't really know how to do it.
Right,
wanna
they
get
don't, like,
sponsored.
realize what the rest of it is.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you're part of something bigger than yourself. So, like, if you want to be sponsored, you gotta help that you gotta help your community. You gotta add to skating before it gives, like, if it even chooses to give anything to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you don't do it expecting something back.
Exactly.
You just do it because that's what you do.
yeah. And it takes more than just you.
Right.
Like, no one's going to sponsor you, especially nowadays. Maybe back in the day, like, I could think of, like, a PJ Ladd who could be a complete recluse and then just put out an amazing part
Right.
and build a career off of that, which he did,
Yeah.
which is amazing. But I think the reason that happened was because he was so focused on safeguarding his version, his skating, and, like, being hyper-focused on it. And,
Right.
like, people were just inspired by it. But that's, like, a 1 in a million, you know? So, like, definitely, if kids want to get involved in skating, it's like, dude, well, fucking find people that have other actors in the
Right.
fucking game with you and have fun and grow the thing and give back to skating, and, you know, it'll get back to you in memories and friendship, and
For sure.
and maybe you'll get something physical and, like, you know, material out of it, but who really cares at that point?
Right.
You already have a lifetime of memories. I can think back, you got, like, especially, how long have you, since you were 9, you're 27 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have years of, like, a hard drive full of memories.
Yeah.
for sure.
So many awesome things and like rad people that I've met along the way and
Yeah,
like totally unexpected experiences.
yeah, for sure.
Like showing up in a town where I didn't know anybody, had nowhere to stay, and like you just start talking to somebody about skateboarding, and they're like, "Oh, you can stay with us."
so clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's uniquely skateboarding too.
For sure.
I've been in that situation a bunch. Nowhere to go, and just talk to someone, and they see you love skating like they do, and they're just, like, willing to open their home to you.
Yeah.
Sick. We need that more.
Totally.
It's like B&B. What is it? Bed and breakfast.
Totally. That's like when I lived down in South America for a few years.
Whoa, sick.
And it was cool to see the skate scene down there because it was way different than what it is here when I got there.
Whereabouts in South America?
In Santiago, in Chile.
Nice.
I lived right in the capital.
What was it like?
So different from here. It was kind of funny, partially because, like, being there from here, you know, I'm the gringo,
Yeah,
and
clearly.
everybody always thinks that, like, oh, you're from the U.S., like, you have money. Like, no, dude. I live in the worst part of town than you do. And they'd be like, oh, where do you live? Like, Los Condes, Providencia, which is, like, the fancy part of town.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, man, I live in Lacado. And they're like, dude, we don't even go there. Like, it's bad. I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's where I live.
Yeah.
It's like the ghetto of the city.
Yeah.
Is where I live. So they all, like, thought that it was the greatest thing that I was, like, the gringo. But I was one of them because I lived in, like, a bad part of town and would just hang out at the skate park with them.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, it's just skateboarding.
Yeah, it's funny. America's great at media. They're great at portraying, you know, the American dream. Everyone's rich. Everyone's doing a lot of it's all shell game, you know.
Totally.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I get angry about that.
Yeah, it's so weird. But one of, like, talking about that, how it's, like, almost like a family of skateboarders, wherever you go. Like, showing up down there, I didn't even know Spanish when I got there.
Oh, man.
Like, just dove into it, went to the skate park, and that was, like, the first time in weeks that I was able to, like, have a conversation with somebody, talking to the kids at the park, because all the tricks have the same names.
Oh, nice.
So we could talk about what we were trying and kind of gesture and half figure it out from broken English that they knew from high school. And
There's universal language.
right, skateboarding like was the universal language.
Sick.
Because you could talk about tricks, you could talk about video parts and magazines, and it was all the same.
Yeah.
So that whole difference of being from somewhere else and being different just disappeared.
Yeah.
And everybody was just hanging out skating.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which is super cool to see. And there was on Go Skate Day a couple years ago when I was down there. They set up a big thing and started at one of the subway stops, like uptown, and worked their way down the main street to the city, like hitting different spots on the way.
Nice.
And then ended up at one of the big parks, and they had bands playing. And it started out with, I think, like 1,200 people, where we started.
Yeah.
To the point like the cops were shutting down side streets because there were so many people just down the middle of the city.
Fucking intense.
Skateboarders. Yeah, just all skateboarders.
Nice.
Ripping through the middle of the city and picking up people along the way. So by the time everybody showed up at the park, there was close to like 2,000 people at the park, just skating, just huge crowd around, and bands playing, like some of the old school punk bands from down there that have been around for ages, just in the underground down there.
Gnarly.
And playing on the deck of the pool, and everybody just ripping around. And this one guy, we were talking, And like the best way I can translate it from Spanish, we were standing kind of up above looking over the whole thing, everybody just having a blast hanging out together with thousands of people just there for that.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, it's so cool. Like, there's no flags, there's no religion, there's no countries, there's no colors, there's no anything. There's just 4 wheels, 2 trucks, and a board, and all of us are family.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah.
And that stuck with me.
The whole time I'm just thinking when you just started saying that, I was just like, yeah, everyone's playing with a piece of wooden wheels, and that's like kind of giving us our own language, you know?
Right.
For sure, that has nothing to do with a flag or anything like that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from, what your background is.
If you appreciate the actual art of skateboarding, you can relate to others that do.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what level you're at of skating. If you're learning how to push around an ollie, or if you're just ripping, everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's hard at all levels.
Yeah.
Even when it's easy, it's like you start doing stuff that you're like, okay, well that's easy, so now I got to get back to when it was hard again. And you start pushing it again and again.
Right.
So you're still in the same boat as the kid beginning, because it's still fucking hard.
People ask you, what's the hardest trick to learn?
I hate that question.
I don't know, probably ollies and kickflips.
Yeah.
Those took me the longest.
True. Ollie takes a lifetime to master.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah,
I still
kickflips took me forever. I
I
don't know.
You gotta mob your ankle and bend it sideways and train it.
It's weird.
Yeah, that one was always hard for me. Why did you end up in South America?
I had always kind of wanted to live outside the country.
Good idea.
Just to see something different, and get a different perspective.
Which is fucking a lot of people need that and don't ever get that.
It gives you a whole different view on not just here but everything.
Just how life could be, or
just a different perspective.
Get outside the bubble.
Like what's normal there is so different from what's normal here.
Yeah. And
just the back and forth of that kind of blows you away sometimes.
And what I've taken away from travel is you see how like people, like the people in power in countries and governments, how they control their people. You know?
Totally.
You go different places and you see different tactics and stuff like that and different approaches, and you're like, oh, okay. Like it kind of makes you realize that even America is like controlling, you know, like, and you're more aware of it, which I feel helps, you know,
definitely in
your life.
Yeah, totally.
More people need to get outside the American bubble for sure.
Yeah, once you step out and look at it, you can definitely see more how it's working.
Yeah, you can have more empathy too, and you won't think that, you know, you won't be like, we're the greatest. You'll be like, we're part of something.
Right. Oh, all of us are here. Okay.
We're all on Earth together.
Everybody's here. Let's do this.
You're not first, you're last. It's like, no, if you're in just one state in America, you might have that mentality, you know?
Right. No, we're all people. We're all here, like, hanging out together. So.
Did you save your money up? Did you just hustle, or how'd you get there?
Well, I was married at the time.
Nice.
And she was from down there, and most of her family was still down there. So that was like the connection. It was like, oh, we could go there and have a place to stay.
Perfect.
So I ended up doing that, and that was basically like how we got there. Just sold a bunch of the stuff that we had and went.
Nice.
Yeah, I was down there for a few years and then came back.
And you're just on the whim. How old are you at this time?
What was I when I went down there? Like 23.
Nice. That's a good age.
So,
perfect age. Have you had other jobs, normal jobs? Like, what are some jobs?
A few here and there. I mean, I held out for a long time. I'm like, I don't want to have a regular job.
Good for you.
So I'd work at the mountains in the winter, and I used to snowboard a bunch and like travel and do contests and stuff with that. So I'd make some money from that and build snowboard parks.
Snowboarding?
Yep.
You pretty good?
Yeah, I guess.
Nice.
That's what they've told me.
That seems like it'd be really fun.
That kind of took off like when I was thinking I wanted to be sponsored skateboarding so I could do that more.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, that's not really like what this is right now. Like how you skate doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And I had started snowboarding, and I was like, this is really easy. It's attached to me.
Yeah.
I can do all the tricks that I can't do on a skateboard.
Yeah. Spinning, right? Because spinning.
Yeah, like spinning and like I snowboard and skateboard the total opposites.
Really?
Like at snowboarding, I'm like I love riding rails and like street spots.
Oh, that's funny.
All that stuff, because I was like, oh, I could do a back lip here and not like nut myself on a rail. But that kind of took off, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is fun. I'll do this, and I can still skate on all of these trips and everything.
It probably helps your skating too, like back lip. I mean, your ollie might be shaky, but back lip, you're learning.
Yeah, like you learn a lot of the motions of it, and
Yeah.
you get to not be afraid of going fast.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't never really.
That's
thought
one of the biggest things is like hitting jumps and stuff on a snowboard. You're going 30, 40 miles an hour down a hill. On a skateboard, like you get up to like 20 miles an hour. Okay, like
speed
going really fast right now. So it definitely like breaks down that fear of going fast at stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you're not strapped in when you're on a skateboard, it's still a little bit more comfortable because you've gone faster than that before on a board.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps back and forth.
So did you got sponsored for snowboarding?
Yeah, I ended up. I rode for Stepchild for a few years, and Arbor and Oakley, and
I don't know. I know Stepchild is a board brand, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And then Arbor clothing or something.
Arbor, they make snowboards and clothes and all that stuff too. So I ended up riding for a handful of companies and traveling around doing contests. And I did like the U.S. Open one year.
Oh, that's it.
Filmed a couple video parts and used to work out at High Cascade on a Mount Hood in the summer.
Wow. Sick.
So that was fun. That also was like my excuse to be able to go skate big cement parks in the Northwest.
Oh,
like,
nice.
I'm going to go work here for the summer, and every day I have off, like try to go skate Burnside or Hood River or somewhere cool.
Sick.
So it was like my excuse to be able to go skate other places with snowboarding.
It helped get you there, yeah.
It did for sure, and that kept me able to mainly do those things for a lot of years.
Yeah. And so you got to travel a bit with that. That helps. Like, I'm not anti-sponsor by any means. Like, it's nice to have a sponsor, but if you don't know why you want a sponsor, it's kind of, like, pointless. A lot of kids just want it for, like, superficial reasons.
Right.
But, like, for sure, like, when you get to a certain age, like, if someone sees some talent in you and they think that you're going to, you have the spark and they want to encourage it, sponsor could be a great thing,
Right.
If you have purpose and drive, that money comes in, you can put it into building your life, Like,
right, and that was the same thing with that. I never did it for that. I did it because it was fun and I wanted to push myself.
Yeah, opportunity just.
And it snows half the year, and I'm in New Hampshire.
So. True. You have to do something.
Right, like I got to do something. I can't. Like I can only shovel out the parking lot so many times and skate flat in the cold.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So.
How's the Northwest like up there?
It's cool. I like it out there. I would definitely go back out there.
I've been out there on trips, but you lived out there for a little bit? Or?
A couple summers. I'd go out for 3 or 4 months.
Nice. In Burnside's pretty wild, I imagine.
Yeah, that was like dream spot. I had gotten to skate FDR a couple times when I was fairly young, and forever it was like FDR and Burnside were like the places I wanted to go just because of the people that I looked up to skating, and like seeing them rip those parks and just how gnarly those parks are.
They're insane.
I was like, I want to figure it out. Like, I want to go try. And just hearing the stories of how hard it is to find lines and all that in those parks. So yeah, that was definitely one of those like bucket list kind of things. Like, okay, I finally can skate Burnside.
Yeah, shit.
It's so fun.
And Charlie's out there, right?
Yeah, he's out there now. I actually talked to him a couple weeks ago. There's a photo of him in the new magazine, and he sent me a message. It's like, hey, can I get a copy?
This is the new mag.
That's the one.
Which you're going to get into. It's in here?
Yeah, there's in that. I did an interview with the photographer Michael Sorelli.
Oh, nice.
And there's that photo of Charlie at Hellgate.
Oh, sick.
Big old Melon Fakey. And he sent a message to the magazine page, and was like, hey, can I get a copy of that? So I sent him a message back from my Instagram. He's like, dude, I didn't realize this was you. How have you been? Like, we haven't seen each other in years.
Sick.
So we got like that
reconnection
from a photo, which was cool.
Maybe explain Hellgate for the people. It's just a ramp, right? Is this Doug's?
Yeah, it's down in Boston.
It's a community ramp now?
It's a bowl down there behind one of their houses, and it's kind of just like a legendary spot down there.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't think I've actually been to it, though.
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten to skate it either, but I've seen tons of stuff from there, and I see like TV and Butters and all them posting stuff from there.
It's crazy because it looks like it's just in like a residential neighborhood. Like
It's just crammed in their backyard. It's like the entire yard of the house is just this ramp.
I wonder how they manage the neighbors and
Right.
parties, because it's like a big bowl tranny. You know, dudes are getting buck in that thing.
Right.
It seems like with that, a lot of the gnarly tranny park skating, there comes like a lot of alcohol and weed, and I mean with skating in general.
Yeah, like in general, but with that, there tends to be like some gnarly people around most of the time.
Yeah, classic humans.
Right.
So I guess that's a good segue into the beginning of starting Skate Sheet.
Yeah, it started as an idea when I had one of those real jobs.
Yeah. Which did you mention what you did for like real job, like a shitty job? What's the worst job you've had?
Or
job you didn't
worst
do?
job I had, I worked in a freezer warehouse.
Whoa.
For like a grocery distribution place.
What were you doing?
Like picking orders and stacking pallets and stuff, and minus 15 degrees for 12 hours a day.
What was your attire? Would you bundle up?
It was like 2 pairs of sweatpants over long johns and like a couple hoodies on, and big like wool gloves. And
I wonder if you gained years of your life though, because being in the cold maybe.
Right, maybe it like preserved me.
Yeah. Exactly. Preservation.
But yeah, that was by far like a job I never want to have again.
Manual labor, just lifting and something.
Just being in that environment, I was getting sick all the time from being in there, and it was really gnarly. The refrigeration system of it was old, and it started leaking stuff. It was making everybody there sick, but they wouldn't admit that that's what it was. The people were like getting really, really sick. That was part of why I left.
Yeah.
Because I was getting sick, and other people were having the same symptoms, and it kept getting worse, and they just wouldn't like admit that that was what was going on.
So foolish. Compromise. So, they should definitely just admit it and fix the problem.
Yeah. So it was like leaking stuff from the freezer system into the air in there and making everybody sick.
Fuck.
That's
where lawsuits come in eventually.
Yeah.
Like years down the road, and people are like, "Oh yeah," and then 30 lawsuits.
Right. It was one of those like nobody could pinpoint what it was because nobody knew how the whole thing worked. All of us that just worked there.
Yeah.
But everybody was like getting the same sick every shift.
Yeah, that's scary.
So it was. No.
There's a lot of places like that people work at, warehouses. There's chemicals and stuff. And
yeah.
You're not aware. You just go to work and breathing in something sketchy, and like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it's super sketchy.
It's kind of like a point for machines to do some shit. Like maybe humans shouldn't do.
Right. If the environment's going to be like that.
Yeah, like maybe you should let people do something else and put a machine in there when you're able to,
Right. But yeah, I did that for a while. That was probably worst regular job.
Yeah.
When I started the magazine, I was actually a janitor.
Nice.
So.
Whereabouts?
In Peterborough. It was after I moved back from South America. I had just moved back to Peterborough, and I worked at the high school there.
Nice.
So I would go in, and that was basically the way it was explained to me when I was trained. Was you have 8 hours to do 4 hours of work, so take your time. Because you can't leave early.
Yeah, it seems like school.
I was like, oh, really? Because I'm somebody who's got to be like, I have to be doing something, or I get bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always trying to do stuff, and that's actually how the magazine started. Is because the section of the school I got to clean had all the art rooms. So when I get bored, I'd go in the art rooms and, like, draw stuff, or like, paint things quietly, like in the back corner of the art room, because I didn't have anything else to do. Everything was done already.
Yeah.
And I went in there one day, and there's a bunch of little magazines, because they were doing an art project about like how magazines are made and all this stuff. So they had made all these like Xerox copy little zines, like all the kids, and they had them all out, like little display things. So I started reading everybody's little magazines that they left out, and looking at them, I was like, we could do this. Like, why wouldn't we do this? With all the people that I know and photos and stuff and people I can talk to about skate stuff. So it was going to be like just a little black and white, like couple pages thing I was going to run on the copier. And I thought of the name of it, Skate Sheet, kind of as a joke, because everybody was like, oh, print media is dead. Like, why would you make a print magazine when everything's going digital? So it's like actually printed on sheets of paper.
Yeah, Skate Sheet.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a joke on that. And then as I started talking to people about it was actually like last year at New England Dam, when I brought the idea out to a bunch of people. And I was like, what do you guys think of this? and everybody was so hyped on it that it took off and turned into this instead of like a little black and white thing that I was going to just make.
Instead of kindergarten class magazine?
Right. Instead of like, I'm going to run these on the printer at my house and staple them together.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, people that I knew in the industry were like, well, like, do you have money to do it? Like, no, I'm just going to like run a couple copies of it. And they're like, can we buy an ad to like give you some money to help it start?
Nice.
And I hadn't even thought of that. Same thing as like the sponsor thing. I didn't even think of that. I just wanted to like make a zine and get some coverage for dudes that ripped that never get seen.
Yeah. It seemed like you just got sparked from the kindergarten class, and you're like, yeah,
totally.
we could do this. Let's try.
Yeah, like, why can't we do this? You know, and just knowing kids and seeing kids out there ripping and like really into it, but nobody, like them not having an outlet for like the photos that their buddies are taking and all that kind of stuff.
Especially out here.
Right.
In the New England area.
Yeah, and so many zines like dropped off out here. Like there used to be Focus and Steez and Stepdad.
Yeah.
And then all of them just kind of evaporated for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to Michael Sorelli one day. We were shooting photos for stuff. And we were talking about how there was just kind of this hole in the scene. There was no outlet for East Coast people. Because it's so hard for them to get something into any of the bigger magazines. It has to be like some ridiculous thing for them to even pay attention.
And even at that, it has to be, you have to have the right sponsor. Because people pay for those pages.
Totally.
Know, so.
And even like low card got really big. And it's hard for kids from out here to get stuff in there sometimes still.
Yeah.
So it was basically like wanting to give everybody an outlet for all the stuff that they're doing and keep the scene connected was the real idea of it.
I like it.
And I've written in there a bunch of times, like I do a little editorial thing in the front, and I put in there a lot of times, tell people to send me stuff, send me photos that you shoot if you want to write something, there's something you think is cool, write a thing about it and send it to me and I'll run it, because this isn't really my magazine, it's everybody's magazine.
Yeah.
I just happen to be the guy that like clicks on things and lines the pages up and sends it to print.
The curator.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not really mine, it's the whole scene and whatever everybody wants to put into it.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I couldn't agree more with like there being a hole for that type of thing. Same with like you mentioned New England Am. I saw like an avenue and I was like, dude, there's so many good skateboarders and we don't have our own like big event yearly.
Totally.
Someone just keeps going for the sake of doing it. And there's so many shredders and it's growing, like why not just fill that void? Like not for financial or any of that bullshit, but like let's just keep the dream alive, you know?
Right.
Just keep growing this fucking thing.
Totally.
It's on the East Coast, it's like we have to do that. People that grow older hang on to skating and we have to build little ways to keep it into our lives and then share that with everyone else and then it'll continue to grow and that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
More skateboarding the better.
Right.
So I saw this, I'm instantly like, yeah, this dude clearly is not trying to get rich. This is a labor of love and it could grow to whatever, but to just start it in a time when digital is God said and fucking print is what it is pretty sick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that was what sparked it.
How many issues?
This is the 6th one.
Damn. So what are some things that you've learned along the way with starting a magazine?
When I did the first one, I had no idea anything about it. I'd always wanted to since I was little. I was like 12.
Yeah.
I'd go to events and stuff and try to take pictures of things. And for school projects, I would write stuff like magazine articles.
Nice.
But I never had any idea of what to do with it more than that. You know, maybe someday I'll get to work at a magazine or get involved in something.
Yeah.
So I had no idea the first time, and I just sat down for a bunch of days and looked at sizing and formatting, how that stuff works. And the company that I worked for as a janitor, I lucked out. I got to clean the offices of Yankee Magazine while I was trying to figure all this out. So while I'm cleaning their offices, I'm like, well, how do they format stuff? Like, where is their stuff getting printed for this like big publishing company?
Yeah.
So I kind of spied on that stuff. It's like, oh, this is all the different things that they do. This is how they're put together. Like what kind of paper it is and all that.
Yeah, that helps.
And it was just just diving into it and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I knew nothing. And it's funny, if you have the first 3 issues, they're all like different paper, different covers, because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Just experimenting.
Yeah, one of them's like a cardstock cover, and one of them's like a soft cover.
Sick. So this is what you ended up with, though, eventually?
Yeah, that's what it came down to after like the 3rd issue. We're just running it. It's like the same paper inside and out, just the cover's color and the inside's black and white.
And how do you get it out there? How do you distribute it?
It goes through shops. My whole thing of it was I didn't want anybody to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just because it's just sharing the skateboarding.
Yeah.
Just like going to the skate park. You go to the public park to go skate, share what you like to do. So I didn't want anybody to have to pay for it. So I've just been packing them and sending boxes to shops.
Nice.
And it's crazy how fast people like latched onto it.
Yeah.
And within the first couple months, I sent a box down to the guys at Shut down in New York, just kind of out of the blue. I just like looked at a map of all the skate shops and was like, I know people at these ones. I'm going to send stuff to them because I think they'll be into it. These couple other ones, I don't know if they'll even like it, but I'm going to send something their way. So just out of the blue, send stuff to them and
take a chance.
Yeah, there's an interview in this one of this kid Josh Green from New York that skates for Shut that reached out to me. He's like, I picked up your zine at the shop. Like, I do sales stuff and work for them. And I'm really, really stoked on it if you ever want to do something with some of the team guys. Yeah. I was like, well, why don't we do something with you since you're obviously into this? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been through shops. And then there's a handful of other guys that, like down in Pennsylvania, there's this dude that runs a little company called DNA.
Okay. Not like skateboard?
Yeah.
Remember there used to
be like big DNA like distribution.
Jason Maxwell used to ride for
that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's another like little company, same name.
Sick.
Right.
I always like the name, so
yeah, it's a good one. But he reached out to me. He's like, I've been following all your social media stuff and I think it's rad. Will you send us some zines? And if you want to send them down, I'll get them out to shops that I deal with.
Right.
Cool, I don't know anybody down there, so he's been taking them to Philly and Pittsburgh, and when he goes down to North Carolina and whatever, he'll take them down there. There's another dude from Indiana that runs this little company called Snapped.
Nice.
And same thing, reached out, like, I think this is rad, will you send us some copies? Sure, why not? And so he's been taking them to shops around Indiana and the Midwest and when he goes out there. So it just kind of took off for me, packing little envelopes and sending them around to these guys. Yeah. This is cool. We'll give it to people here too, all the way to this dude from Osaka, Japan hit me up.
Whoa, sick. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's been running this shop over there since '92.
Amazing.
And he's like, I think this is rad that you're actually doing a real in-print DIY magazine. We want it. If we want to read it, if I pay shipping, will you send us a box of all the issues?
Wow.
So I sent them a box of, 30 or 40 issues, like 10 of each one that we had at the time.
Sick.
And they were so hyped on it. He's like, whenever you put out more issues, just let me know and I'll like PayPal you some money to ship them over.
That's crazy to have an idea out here, just a little idea, and then have someone over there appreciate it.
Right.
That's insane, yeah. And
it's just no connection other than, hey, I saw this, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I like skateboarding too.
Sick.
So
it's crazy because nowadays, if you're going to do this, you just also have to do digital as well.
Right.
You can promote it and still get it out there. But this is something that, like, there'll always be skate zines if people have the fire and the spark to keep them going.
Yeah.
People love this stuff, Like,
it's been cool to see people come out of the woodwork too that make other little zines that I had no idea were out there.
Oh, right.
Like I've talked to Rob Mertz. I talk to him sometimes.
Syndrome, right? Rob Mertz, I believe.
Yeah, he's out in California. He used to skate for like Zorlak and stuff.
Yeah, I believe he has something to do at Syndrome Distribution. Jason Maxwell.
Yeah.
Been out there a few times. That's sick. He does one?
Yeah, he does. He has like a company. He does shirts and hats and all that stuff. It's the Black Sheep Underground.
Nice.
And it's basically like he does a little zine every once in a while to go with it, based off of like the old punk scenes that him and all those dudes grew up with.
Nice.
And it's basically like him and them trying to keep that, like the old like 80s core punk skate scene alive. Like that's what they call it, the Black Sheep Underground, and their thing is like, society rejected us, now we fight back.
That's sick.
He's like, yeah, now we're old enough to do something and make this a thing.
Yeah.
So I got in touch with him, and we'd like send zines and stuff back and forth to each other, and these other guys from the Midwest that do a zine called Coven.
Nice.
It's like metal skate zine, and
They have a lot to do with music. Do you have any music reviews or anything in the skate sheet?
yeah, I don't in this one, but I've done some before, just of bands that I know or ones that I've found. I'm gonna do one in the next issue. This band Heloscope.
Nice.
It's actually this
Oh,
shirt they sent me. It's Dave Wood, who owns Talent.
Oh,
He
sick.
plays guitar in the band, and it's a bunch of other guys that skate up there.
Well,
They have
that's
this
sick.
doom metal band. It's super rad.
In Vermont, right?
Yeah.
On skate park?
Yeah, from
Hannah,
Burlington.
Hannah as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I used to go through there for Fibro days.
Yeah,
We did demos, and it was just sick. They had a cool scene.
yeah, they've got a great scene up there. But
That's so sick.
But they got this band, and I followed them for a while, and they posted like a cassette tape. They put out a cassette tape, and I was like, "That's so awesome! How do I get one of these?" He sent a message back and said he'd send me a little box of stuff. So he sent me one of their CDs and a tape and a shirt and some stickers.
Nice.
And so I'm going to do that in the next issue, a review of that stuff. And
That's sick. It's cool to have something to be able to, like, obviously to share skaters and help give them a platform, but
Right.
to include music too. It seems like music's one of your loves.
totally.
What got you turned on to the music you like?
A lot of different things. I mean, my brother played drums growing up, so I used to dork around on his drum set when I was
Sounds
little.
like you had a rad older brother.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, my brother's pretty awesome. He does some crazy things. Both of us do really different things, but people used to think that we were twins because we look so much alike and we do all the same stuff, but we're 11 years apart.
Oh, no shit.
So there was a little while that we were like pretty close in height and everything. I'm like, you guys twins? Like, yeah, we're just 11 years apart.
Nice.
But yeah, he does some crazy things too, which is pretty rad. But he got me into a lot of the music that I listen to.
Like, what was some of the first music, like bands or albums that you really got inspired?
A lot of like the first albums that I picked up came from skate stuff, like picking up Ramones albums or music that was in skate videos.
Yeah.
And like trying to find what it was, like the Yeah Yeah Yeahs from one of the old DNA videos.
Yeah.
They had a song in there, or like my favorite skate part ever was Tony T from In Bloom.
Oh, yeah.
Like the rest of the video, everybody's skating street, and then all of a sudden there's like Tony T and Cardiel,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my, like watching that on VHS,
Yeah.
like constantly, and just rewinding that part.
Even as a street skater, I was like, it caught my eye too.
Yeah,
All street skating sick, but those
you're just like going so fast at everything in Motley Crue, and it was like totally just out of what else was going on.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that like sparked me to like skating like that and get into, I guess, more like punk and metal kind of side of things.
Yeah.
And then hanging out with all the older crew skating vert. That was
really
the only thing. They were like, this is all we do. Like somebody would put a CD in the boombox on top of the vert ramp, and Crazy Horse would come and just like take it out and throw it on the ground and put Metallica in. Like, nope.
I told you got crazy eyes, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, wild card.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've gotten into a lot of music from my brother and from skating,
Yeah.
for sure. Finding stuff that's in videos that I think is cool. Some of the old Creature videos and stuff like that, definitely. It connects back and forth. And there's so many skaters that are in bands
Yeah.
that you can tell, like, their skating influences their music.
Yeah.
Like, they're playing songs that you'd want to skate to
Yeah.
because they skate.
They get it.
Yeah. And even, like, bigger bands, for years I didn't realize that had skaters in them. Like Flogging Molly,
Oh,
like Matt
really?
Henley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I got into music, it was like 90s hip hop.
Yep.
So like this genre that you're speaking about, I'm kind of like outside the loop, but I do know some of the classic songs and bands and stuff like that, and it's pretty sick. But I always liked hip hop.
Yeah.
Thing. Like I just like Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. That was like the album that blew my mind.
Yep.
Just like Wu-Tang Clan ain't none to fuck with. I was a little kid. I'm like,
why are they
It's
saying
just like
that?
so raw.
Why are they saying that? That's awesome. I need to listen to this. Which is along the same vein of like some of the heavy metal stuff and
Totally.
just aggression and like energy and just,
and a lot of it, like people putting so much feeling into what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like with hip hop or with like punk and metal stuff, all of those relate so much to skateboarding because those are all genres that people are super like attached to and involved in.
Yeah.
And they write about what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Like what's happening in their life or stuff that they've been through or like things that they see that they want to change.
I'm always amazed at some of those bands, like, where they scream and they hold it for, like, a whole song, and I'm like, how the fuck do they have a whole album like that?
That's crazy.
I'm like, dude, they must go home and, like, put an ice bag on their throat, like, fucking gnarly.
Right?
Andrew Cannon's, like, into, like, a lot of that heavy metal, dark stuff, and, like, not all his stuff is like that, but some of it he'd turn it on, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what they're saying, but this is fucking serious. Like,
right?
Fast-paced, like, intense, like... but it's awesome. I was always more like lyrical. Like I liked hip hop because the stories it wasn't so distorted. Like sometimes you hear like a punk band or something and I can't really.
You don't even know what's going on.
You gotta look it up and figure it out. And like,
there's a lot of the bands that I like the Sword and bands like that are almost like old school metal.
Yeah.
So it sounds. Some of them, there's like this band Cadaver, another one called Orchid, that sound like they came straight out of the 70s, like underground. So it's like metal, but with that old school tinge to it.
Yeah.
Like, actually, you can understand everything that they're saying, and they write about cool stuff.
Sick. Yeah, I like that.
So there's some of those that I'm like, nowadays I'm more into that side of it than like just like the hardcore part of it. I definitely still now and then go back to that.
Yeah.
But it definitely relates.
Yeah. I kind of want to change directions for a moment. How do you feel about the current state of skateboarding and the direction it's going and, like, just in general? Like, there's a lot going on with skating. Everyone, in general, in the United States and America, there's a lot going on in transitions and, like, a lot of ebb and flow and people trying to figure out how to build an economy, I guess, right, with what they've given us.
Yeah.
Or this internet thing, and like, how do you feel about the whole scope of, this is heavy, but of life, but also how it pertains to skateboarding and the changes?
It's pretty wild how diverse it is now. Like you said, like there's a niche for everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you only want to do this? Like, you can do that now. There's a company that only does that.
Yeah.
You know?
You can find each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it with the whole internet and social media thing, is that it's connected people that before were just kind of loners.
Yeah.
And they've come together and made their little piece here and there. But there's a lot of good things and there's a lot of weird things right now.
You can say that again, bro.
Yeah. Like there's the part of it, like I think it's cool that transition skating became a thing, like that there's park events.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I never really thought that would happen. I always thought it would be like street or vert.
Traditional vert, half pipe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like coming up, that was all I ever saw, was those two sides of it.
Yeah.
And I love skating skate parks and watching dudes rip big cement parks, but I never realized that would be a thing like it is now. There's the Vans Park series. There's, you know,
there's like opportunity in that now.
Right, which is cool because I think that's brought a whole different branch of it to the public, and people seem to be really into it.
Yeah.
It also brought back a lot of old school style, which I think is cool.
Yeah. Which is cool for sure.
Yeah, like just watching people go fast and find lines through things, and not necessarily doing the most technical thing, but just like how they find their way through it and link everything together. I think people are, like, even the public is starting to gather a respect for that. Like, oh, he didn't like flip his board or do a backflip, but he did this cool thing and like went over that and over this and kept going somehow.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it's good that people are seeing a different part of it than has really been necessarily accepted before. It's not just, what's the biggest thing you can jump down?
How many stairs?
Right. Like, I definitely remember the stair counting days of sitting there with Trans World or whatever. Whoa! Like, there's 20 stairs. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
which that stuff's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm down for everybody doing what it is they do, and there's some people that, like, that's their thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember looking up to Josh Perkins back in the day.
Ooh, Josh is the man.
Yeah.
Fuck
I
yeah.
love skating with him, watching him skate, like his part in that Creature video.
Yeah.
He does the like 18 stair Smith grind onto plywood,
So
and everybody's, what are you doing? That was so gnarly.
Josh is a madman.
Yeah.
And you know Matt Fennell?
Yep.
The fanny pack?
Yep.
He's the fucking man too.
It's so awesome. That was like when I used to be hanging around the seacoast. That was who I like looked up to because they were a few years older than me.
Yeah.
Not that far, but they were already.
Josh maybe. Matt's probably your age, you think? Or maybe.
They're definitely a little bit older than I am.
Yeah.
But they were already doing like a bigger thing than what everybody else around was.
Yeah.
As far as they were already taking trips and like getting photos and things
Yeah.
at the time when the rest of us were figuring out what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys rip.
Yeah. But to go back a little, yeah, the stair counting thing got weird. I think that comes with like, it gets weird when it turns into competition, you know, like,
Right.
because then you have to outdo the next person, and then it just like, brands start promoting like that stuff, and then kids are like, oh, go too far,
Right.
12 stairs.
To jump off the biggest
Yeah.
thing.
That's what happens when you fucking box an art in.
Right.
You give it parameters, and then like you're trying to control it to make money off of it. I imagine. I don't know why else people want to control
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I would think so.
Because skating is so diverse and there's so many sides to it. Why would you ever want to just like control it like that? You know?
Right, and that's a good point too. Now with it being so diverse, but I feel like there's also over the last few years they're getting boxes built. That now there's multiple different boxes.
It's the good and bad. When you when I've been saying since the beginning of this podcast and for a long time that like skateboarding is for everyone.
Right.
And when that's true, because it's just a piece of wooden wheel, it's like the individual that picks it up can internalize it and use it however they want, whatever they want.
Yeah, it's their expression of whatever it is.
Exactly. You couldn't tell someone how to do it, you know, like it's art, you know. But when you have that, there's always going to be a huge population, maybe not always a huge, but always a population of people that want to add up points and
Right.
do it for a certain reason, or they're good at that game, you know, like there's going to be brands that come in and want to build these platforms that make it into a game and a stadium and a sport, you know, so with that, you know, when it's for everyone, you're going to have a little bit of everything. My big discrepancy is like, I don't like when those people that don't really live it and love it and have done it
Try to run it.
yeah, they own it. That's
Right.
scary because that kind of we're going into the Olympics here, and then they're the dominant perception of what skateboarding is, and they're going to sway a bunch of kids to get into it for a certain reason. But that's why this is so much more valuable and important nowadays. And small brands and skate
Right.
shops and people that have put their whole life force into it. It's very important that you share that with as many people because there's so many people that might get into skateboarding because of Tony Hawk doing the 900, but then it might be like, yeah, that's so sick, and then they might get to the point where like, oh, I don't really want to play that game, but I like what they're doing over there. It's
Right.
skate sheet or whatever, and it's not like that, but maybe that turned them on, but then they found their bubble or they found something they're into.
Yeah.
So it's so important that people like us and others out there share their version of skating.
Right, that there's a basis to it still, that there's not just that spectacle.
Don't let them buy the whole thing up.
Right.
That's what happened with rollerblading and I'm sure scooting as well. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get sponsored, no one knows how to make the fucking things, and the brands are owned by people that are just trying to sell you gimmicks.
But they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take that.
They're ripping
Let's
off
go.
kids, the scooter kids. That's where I argue, because I'm like, dude, the parents come in and it's like $300 for the scooter thing. It breaks. Nobody knows how to fix it.
Yeah, so just buy another one.
Yeah, and then you look at just the way their businesses, they have a million different things, accessories, shit that they don't need, which I get in business. You want to sell extra stuff. But then I think about the marketing because all these kids are coming in going, I need this, I need this, I need this, and they don't need any of it.
Right.
They're just trying to buy it because they, you know, I'm like, who's in charge of this?
Because so-and-so has it because this is cool, because that color is whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's because, Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure that's because there's probably one or two big scooter brands, and they sponsor one or two kids, and then those kids tell all those other kids, like, yeah, you need all this shit.
Right.
Because they want to keep being sponsored or whatever. And it's like, I just tell the parents, I'm like, yeah, you're being robbed. Like, you could just get a board for like a complete skateboard for like $125. That thing will last you for a long time. You might have to replace the board eventually when they get good enough to like break it or whatever, or they wear through it, but that's still like nothing compared to what you're getting robbed from these scooter companies, and they're way more fucking dangerous. I can't tell you at the edge.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many injuries there are, not from biking, not from skating, but from little kids on scooters that no one, like, they're just a bunch of random kids out there staying lit.
Knocking their face on the handlebars or
trying to
like launching out and just flinging things into people. Or...
Yeah. Am I, sorry to derail this this scooter talk. This happens to me though.
I know.
Because I've been quiet about it. Because like, I'm always like, let people do what they want, you know? But then after a while, I'm like, no. I'm not doing it justice to skateboarding. Skateboarding is hard. And that's what makes it awesome. And like, there's something very free about skateboarding too. Like, that was my argument the other day. I was in the skate shop, and this kid scootering tried to tell me that riding fakie on a scooter. I'm like, you can't. You can't ride fakie on a scooter like you can a skateboard.
Right.
You know, like this. It's just not comfortable. You're limited. He was trying to tell me that you could do as much stuff on a scooter as a skateboard. I'm like, even if so, you still have to do it in this little like 12-year-old girl position where you're riding a scooter.
With your knees together.
I'm like, now I just skate by him and I just fly. I don't have to hold on to shit. This is way more freeing and it feels more natural. That
no hands.
I ride by the skate park outside, fakie down the hill, and I'm like popping fakie ollies and shit. I'm like, I can do this the whole block. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I was quiet because I'm like, they're just kids. But now they're getting to the point where they're getting older and they're just like, they're just thinking they can talk their way into something. And I'm like, there are some truths out there.
Right.
Skateboarding is hard. Skateboarding's a little easier. Like, I'm sorry.
I think that's part of why it took off so much, is because it's a lot easier to hold on to a thing and go jump over stuff.
You don't have to learn an ollie.
Right.
It just fucking takes a lifetime.
It takes forever. Like, do a good ollie.
Even when you get it, like, it depends on the day, right?
Right. There's some days you go back to a spot that you've been at before and try to pop over and hang up.
Yeah.
Like, I did this 2 days ago.
I love it, though. Lately, I've been seeing little skateboard dudes show up at the edge and, like, the skate parks around here, and they're literally, I can tell they're just hyped on skating. Not sponsorship, none of that stuff.
Just being there and skating.
Yeah, and they like the fact that it's hard.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yeah, that's how people should be. You should like a fucking challenge.
I've seen some kids, like, same thing with watching kids come up and grow up through this being in it. I've seen kids go from scootering, and they would, like, scooter and skateboard when they were, like, 12.
Hybrid.
And then just, like, skateboarding. And that just disappears.
Yeah.
And now they're super good. Like this kid Ronnie that lives in Portsmouth, Ronnie Krieger.
No. His name's Ronnie Krieger?
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
how do you feel those shit? Sorry, bro.
But yeah, this,
I didn't know there was another Ronnie Krieger out there. It makes sense, though.
Yeah. Yeah, this kid Ronnie, he used to show up there all the time, skateboard and scooter, and he'd ride his scooter on. He'd be like, dude, come skateboard.
Yeah.
Come skateboard, try this. And he'd like, be trying some transfer or whatever, and couldn't do it, would go get a scooter and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just try it like 5 more times. You got this. And now he's like filming like homie videos with his buddies out there, and skating really good. And when Ship Park was still happening, was there like building stuff, learning how to build stuff and pour cement, and lugging buckets of water for Newton and those dudes to be able to pour stuff.
Yeah.
Just went from that to just full on involved in like the DIY side of it. And that's just super cool to see.
And that's exactly why I try not to be a dick to any scooter kids.
Yeah.
Because it's precisely that. They're scooter kids. They're kids. They don't know what they want to do or whatever. They just want to be a part of something. And partly to blame is some of us for skating for not, like, talking to them or letting them be involved, like, maybe they would jump on a skateboarder if skateboarders were cool to them,
Right.
Maybe not, but maybe.
Some sort of, like...
connection. Like, you're out here, I'm out here, nice to see you. I'd make it a point to say hi to them.
Right.
I'm not going to go scoot with them. I'll say hi, and if they come up to me, I'm going to treat them like a human being,
Yeah.
I've seen the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
And I get it. People are frustrated and they're fucking
People get
angry.
pissed off, and there's people that don't know what's going on.
But they're kids at the end of the day, right? Like, I tried. But the line, where I draw the line is when they start telling me that scooting is, like, better or whatever. Because then I have to go, okay.
Alright, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, like, well, I have to try to find the words to, like, say it to a little kid who's just saying it because his idol said it or something.
Right.
A prime example was the other day, the kid was like, he just was trying to win a game in the argument, and I was like, he ended it with, like, oh, why are you so salty? And I was like, I'm not salty. He's like, well, now you are. I'm like, what? No, like, do whatever you want. Like, go ride your scooter, have fun, whatever.
We're having a discussion.
Yeah, like, that's fine. If you want to win the battle just by saying salty or that I'm a hater, go right ahead. But before you leave, know that I don't give a shit what you do. Go do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
But the truth is, skateboarding, in my mind, is harder. And here's the reasons why. If you can't defend your scooter stuff, don't just throw out that whole you're mad, a hater, salty thing. It's like, no, what? You can, you know what I mean? Like, that's such a cop-out.
Right.
And he's 12, and I gotta be a 34-year-old dude that has to take this kid serious. And you have to really talk to him, because I realize a lot of people don't. Those kids grow up into adults with that same mentality, thinking they can win an argument by calling you names and discrediting what you're saying.
Cutting out, oh, I'm not winning this, I'll just say something to bother them.
Well, they know how to get you pissed off.
Right.
So then it becomes an argument instead of a conversation because they can't win the conversation. So just because they're little kids, they're smart. You know, they're smart. They know tactics. They do it all the parents. You know what I mean? I give kids all the credit in the world. I treat them like adults. I might censor my words a little bit just out of, like, class. You know? And I'm not gonna call them, like, pussies or anything like gnarly, you know? Like, but I'm gonna talk to them, you know. But that's a lot of work, and I can get why people wouldn't want to do it, you know.
Right.
Growing up, doing the ride camps and all that stuff, I'm sure you went through the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
Having to talk to kids and then figure out the right words and. But it's good. It's good to do it. It's good. It needs to be done.
Right.
Yeah. So, I guess, is there anything else you wanted to cover? Is there anything we missed, or anything you would like to talk about or mention?
Trying to think. I mean, with the magazine, like I said, I'm always down for people to send stuff. I always put the email in there.
What is it? It's right here.
skatesheet@gmail.com.
Nice.
I left out with the name that nobody had taken it for anything else.
Nice.
So it's easy to find.
Instagram skate sheet?
Yep.
Nice.
So I'm always down for photos and whatever, and I do my best to try to get back to people.
Yeah.
Along with working a regular job and trying to do that. And
yeah.
all that stuff, and life getting weird. And
yeah. You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
So I started the zine last year, like last December. Because after New England Am, I ran that article in the first one that we did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was hyped on that.
I was too.
But yeah, I started it then, and I was doing it like monthly. And then life got really weird because, like I said, I was married.
Yeah.
And that, like, the editorial in this one, the first page, was super hard for me to write because it was basically explaining why there hasn't been a magazine for months.
Yeah.
And it was just because that situation that I was in was really, really bad, but I'm super bad at asking people for help when I need it.
Yeah.
And, like, standing up and getting out of something that's bad.
I can relate.
So I stayed in not a good situation for a lot of years, and
a lot of it is just because you feel like you can make something work, like especially like the same shit it takes to learn a trick. You know, like you don't give up.
You just keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying. But yeah, it got to a point that it was just like you have to call it at some point.
Yeah.
And
because it becomes like madness. It's the same thing again.
Right, like you're going crazy, like you're driving yourself crazy. Like it got to the point of like getting accused of all kinds of things that I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
To the point that I had like cut off most of my friends and didn't go out to like even skate or do anything for a long time.
Not really.
Just because I would get like accused of doing all these things that I wasn't doing, and I'm like, all I'm doing is normal everyday things.
Yeah.
Elwood!
Sorry. It's crazy because alright, he's gonna stop. It's crazy because like that's not how it should be. We should each be able to flourish and develop individually, but together. Like if you're going to be with someone,
right,
they shouldn't want you to stop doing what you're doing and try to box you up. You know?
Right, and it was really weird because
hold your thoughts. So, I think because my lady's here. Chew. Let me just school Elwood real quick. Elwood, that's enough, buddy. Come here. Go lay down. Go boy, go lay down. We're just gonna have to wait this one through. Elwood rules my life. He was I named him after my father, just as like to remember Elwood.
Yeah.
My dad, and Elwood gets what Elwood wants. He gets his toys. He destroys them in 5 minutes. $20 toys gone. He has a $20 toy habit. And now we got Emma. We got our other dog, Amber, before Emma. We got her because Elwood needed a friend.
Oh.
So Elwood gets what Elwood wants.
Right.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah. Then Amber passed, and now we have Emma. Okay. So to go back to it. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to recognize that when you're in it. It's hard to recognize that someone is like, maybe it's their own insecurity and their own worries.
Yeah.
But now it's passing it on to you.
And it was a weird situation too, just because she'd be like outwardly supportive.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, you should do this stuff, like you skate and all that stuff. But then I'd take the action to go do it and somehow be in trouble.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. It just fucked with my head super bad for a long time.
Yeah, I've had that situation.
And it's something, like, writing it in here was really hard, just because I never really talked to anybody about it. But now, like, stepping out of it, it's kind of one of those, like, I feel like I should say something, because people are in situations and don't do anything about it.
All the time.
And don't realize it. And it took a lot for me to realize it, and I lucked out that, like, where I work now, there's good people around me that I would show up and be visibly like shaken or stressed out, and they'd be like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" Like, not really.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, that's not cool. Like, you're fine. You should be able to function."
Yeah.
But yeah, that was why the magazine disappeared for a little while. I was just dealing with all of that and trying to figure that out, and I got really lucky to have people around me to like support me through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was weird. It was that whole like messing with my head, and even like physically like getting beat up and stuff.
Oh man, rough.
Like
turning into fights like that.
Yeah, like I would never do anything back. Like I've never.
Yeah.
I don't hit people. I don't yell. I don't do anything like that.
But having that done to you and letting it happen to you again, you're partaking. You're becoming a person I'm sure you didn't want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. And that was. That's one of those things, like when people talk about stuff like that happening, they never talk about it happening to a guy.
Yeah.
Because guys don't talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, no, fuck that. Like,
yeah, you want to be tough about
right.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, it just got really bad with all that, and I was lucky enough to have people around and be like, dude, you used to do all this stuff that you love to do. Why don't you do it? Like, I don't know.
You're right.
Like, yeah, why am I not doing all of these things? There's not really any good reason other than, like, I'm freaked out every day now.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, people, when you need someone, that's not always a good thing. Like,
right.
Sometimes people need you. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you don't need me. You need to take care of your own life and be happy in your own skin, and I'll do the same. We'll be together.
Right.
And go. It's weird when they try to, like, it's usually out of fear, I'm sure, and just like not developing.
Somebody tries to fit you to what
they want.
What they want you to be.
Yeah, that's not a good relationship tactic at all.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be able to control another person. The more you try to control them, the more they're going to want to do the opposite. Like, free radicals, right?
Right.
You want to find another free radical that wants to go in the same direction or is going the same direction. Imagine.
And that's part of why the magazine came back. And I'm still in the middle of dealing with a lot of that.
Yeah.
But part of the reason that the magazine came back was because I did find somebody like that was just like there and totally unexpected, not looking. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just trying to deal with myself.
Yeah.
And just happened to be there, and we started hanging out and just never wanted to stop hanging out.
Nice.
Like, into the same stuff, and like you said, just two people doing their thing, but doing it together.
Yeah.
You know, like,
exactly. Yeah.
down to hang out. Like, you want to go do that? Go do it. And I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to doing what we do.
Yeah. You can keep trust. Like, it's hard once trust is broken. It's really hard. You know, like if someone just doesn't trust you, or you don't trust them, and how they, or you question their motives and what they say and stuff. That's like really hard to repair.
For sure.
It's almost gets so toxic. You're like, this isn't how it should be.
Right.
For sure. I've been in relationships with people like that, even in my family. You know.
Yeah.
It's just scary.
Yeah, it's weird, but that's part of why why the magazine came back to life. And I've said it a bunch of times. I'm like, thanks for getting me to do this again. And she's always like, I didn't really do anything. It's like, no, there was a day that you said, what happened to that magazine that you used to do? Like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? I was like, that was enough of a push to be like, oh, why am I not doing that? That was rad. I really liked that.
That's all you need.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So, I give a lot of credit back to her for that.
Yeah, that's rad. And she was right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Now we're doing this.
Yeah. You should enjoy. If you enjoy something, why not? You know.
Right.
As long as it's healthy and safe, you know. And making a magazine is definitely fine. Right? Check. I fully appreciate that you do this, man. Because, like I was saying before, we need more soldiers, more people like giving to skateboarding and trying to grow it and trying to find a way to build with others in it.
Yeah.
It's very crucial nowadays, because if we don't do that, there's going to be the opposite side of that, like we were talking about.
It's like I'm happy that the whole DIY thing has come around with people like, we're going to build stuff.
Yeah.
And just pulling in more and more people like, oh yeah, well, we want something to skate, like, let's work for it.
Yeah, we don't have to ask a sponsor to do it. Like, we have to just make this.
We can all just get together and put in some work and make something cool out of it.
Yeah. Inches add up, too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you can start getting these inches, like, you make the first one.
Yep.
And then you get other people involved, and they see it, and they're like, yeah, these inches are cool. And then the next one, and it's like, next one, and just slowly
it
building
just keeps
something.
going and going and going.
Same approach with your skating and with anything you do. It's very valuable. And it's awesome, man. This is something that needs to live. And I love that you gave me some hope that there's a lot of other magazines out there where people doing cool stuff and putting it together and being a curator.
Yeah, it's cool. I didn't realize that any of that was happening
Yeah.
when I started doing this, and then this whole like underground thing just surfaced. And I was like, oh, there's other people doing this. And there's a guy in Colorado that does that company Have Fun.
Yep.
They make like rails, and he's friends with Nolan Johnson. They do scram skates and stuff.
Nolan is fucking insane on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Where's he from? Do you know?
I can't remember right off.
He's amazing though. I remember him coming to the New England Am, and that was like the first time I had ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And I just saw him, and I was like, holy shit, this dude is next level.
Yeah.
Like with his skating, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that guy reached out to me. He's from Colorado, and asked me. He's like, I'm super into zines, and I want to start one.
Yeah.
Like, how do you put it together? How do you get it printed and stuff? And he's making a little zine out there, but he actually set up an art show, but just had people send mags from everywhere.
People are still crushing this game of like, not game, but this just keeping the magazine going and doing it DIY style,
Right.
and it's enough to like maintain and grow and do cool stuff in, and I thought that was like really, really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And you see somebody else doing it, and it sparks you to want to keep doing it because you realize that you're not the only one.
Yeah, that's possible too. Just that other people have managed to maintain it and keep it going.
Right.
Like, these things, like, in life, I'm always like, we just need to find ways to monetize our time so we can enjoy and do the things we like to do.
Right.
That's not what the American dream was. Everyone's a millionaire.
Right.
Whatever, you know, which that's fine. But like, imagine if you could just have one day to do something you enjoy, and it helps people.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal, like, right?
Yeah, totally.
People feel ashamed of like trying. I feel like people feel like, I feel greedy or selfish.
Doing something that they want to do.
Yeah,
something that they're into, even if it is productive and giving back.
Especially on the East Coast, there's like that old mentality of like, you gotta just get a normal job and like put childish shit behind you, and you gotta provide and do stuff, and like,
yeah.
It's nice that people are like, no, I'm gonna take my time with my life, figure out the things I love, and then figure out how to build these structures and involve people, and maybe one day I'll be able to have some time to actually work on it and monetize it to the point where I can like have a day. Because our time is our only real currency, right?
Yeah, that's the only like actual thing that we've got.
Time is money, they say, right? The only way to make money is to go work in a warehouse leaking fucking antifreeze or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like, but our time is really the only currency we have. So
I've said that to people. Like, you have like time and energy.
Yeah.
And you choose what you put those into, and you put those into the things that are important to you. Like, you only have so much of each one.
You hope they do that.
Right.
There's so many pitfalls. And especially in this country, everyone's like, this is the land of free, so much opportunity. It's like, with that comes, people have the right to be wrong and fucked up and do crazy shit. Like, I've realized in this country that if you can be selfish enough, greedy enough, and like, you can fucking become president. You know what I mean? Like, or you can sell people a bunch of poison, whether it be like cigarettes, and literally put poison in a product and sell it to it kills hundreds of thousands of people. And there's a double edge to that, because I don't want to like restrict what people can do. But you saw how crazy that got with like their tactics and marketing, and like even towards kids and how addictive it is. There's like right ways and wrong ways to do things, because some people are always going to want some poison in their life. Like, I don't want it. I see it with the scooter moms. They're like, skateboarding's dangerous. I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit of dangerous element to it. I don't want someone to tell me I can't skateboard just because it's slightly dangerous, or I can make it more dangerous if I want. Like, we should still have our freedoms. But I just realized in this country for a long time it was like, if you could be ruthless and build a business plan around it, you could make billions of dollars.
It didn't matter what it was.
Run the economy, sway the whole thing. Put all these pitfalls out there, liquor stores everywhere. People want it. It's like, yeah, but maybe we should have some restraint and like figure out, like, we don't have to ban it, but let's like be honest,
Right, but at least explain like moderation to people at some point.
Well, they don't even teach the shit in school. Like, you go to school and you're like, half the shit they show you is just wasting time, I feel. And you have to get it outside of there, and it's like, again, education, like even religion got corrupted. It was like they had the truth, they locked it up, and then they became wealthy over it, and then that bubble burst too. They tried to sell everyone homes, that bubble burst.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford a home. Not everyone can have the work ethic or have the discipline and focus to do it. Like, but here it's like, if you can hustle and fool people, it seemed like you could get away with it. Just terrifying to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's totally crazy.
I don't know where I was going with any of that, but yeah.
But now we're here.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I think what I'm saying is, I'm happy that things are breaking down to the micro, and you can still try to carve out a niche to do something worthy with your time, and not feel obligated to just go do some bullshit that they tell you or force you to do.
Totally.
That's our big struggle, our generation, anyways. I feel like our big struggle is like trying to figure out a way to monetize a little bit of our time to do something we enjoy with people that we love.
Right.
That would be ideal.
Totally.
And if we could all do that, that'd be awesome. So that means we got to be more open, more expressive, and allow others to do that too.
Definitely.
Because like a lot of times, half of it's our fault too.
Right. For not like reaching out or not making connections.
Or for just talking shit on other people's versions and shitting on other people, and like, that's so easy to do,
Yeah.
Like,
and it's definitely like, like keeping your eyes open to what's going on around you, and realizing that there's other people around into the same things, and how you can work together to like what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Like,
network, meet people.
Yeah, like we're both sitting here talking about all this because we both do different parts of it, and we both love this silly little wooden thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, fuck, man, I think that's it, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Thank you.
And yeah, please check out the mag, Instagram @skatesheet, and if you want to submit something, just skatesheet@gmail.com. And are you going to come to the New England Am?
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to get down there. If I don't make it, there'll definitely be zines there, and
yep, you already dropped them.
Photos in the next one.
Nice.
From that.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Alright, thanks guys. Peace. Oh yeah, Ben. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill that. That was fun.